Nas announced that Magic 3, which is dropping this Thursday, his birthday, is going to be the last album with him and Hit Boy. I think he may do a premiere album or something after that, because he kept saying that he's probably going to do that. But this has been 6 albums in the last 3 years. Has this been the greatest album run in hip hop history? No. CJ, let me start with you. Album run now. Think about 6 albums within 3 years going.
Well, yeah, but who's put out 6 albums in 3 years? That's not normal.
I rest my case.
Let's be.
That don't make it the greatest, nigga. That's not Gucci Man put out 6 albums in 3 years. He got the greatest run too.
Well, his weren't as good as Nas and Hit Boy.
They weren't. And I will say the only one that didn't really land was Magic 2. And I'm not saying it was bad, but it just didn't land the same. You know what I mean? As the first 3, and the first Magic is crazy. In my opinion, is probably top 2 out of this run. But because of the output and the quality, and they're cheating a little bit because a couple of them joints got like 8 songs on them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a weak studio session. They just chopped up into Magic 1, 2, and 3. It's a little bit of a cheat code, but it's up there. It's a discussion. It's probably up there.
Okay, PM.
I mean, are we talking the amount of albums or just the 3-year run?
Okay, so let me say this.
That's a good question,
because I want to get. It's not so much about 6 albums in 3 years. It's more so about the continuity of the projects coming back to back.
I listen. This is what I will say. This is one of the most solid back to back outputs we've seen, especially in a while. Agreed. I just don't know, man. Rick Ross had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's had a hell of a run. Hell, even Game had a hell of a run. T.I. had a hell of a run. Like, come on, man. Like,
people have had runs now. We're not gonna act like, just because he put out 6 in 3 years, that's a little bit. That leans it a little bit.
Who?
DMX.
He had 3. He had 3, but like in
a short period of time.
Yeah, in a short period of time, he did. But I just think that with what gives Nas and Hit Boy the edge is their sound and their unity. Right. With one producer,
I was about to say the cohesiveness. Yeah.
As far as the album run, now I know it didn't have hit records and all the other stuff,
but they don't need hit records. Remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I told him that's my problem with Nicki Minaj. She's still trying to make hits instead of just being a dope rapper.
Exactly. So that's why I brought that up, and I saw other people saying in the comments as far as like a run. Now, the continuity coming out each year, that also helps because Jay-Z had some good runs, but it happened in gaps. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I feel like, of course, what CJ said, Magic 2 was a dud. But in my opinion, I looked at the Magic series as lost tapes.
Right.
The lost tapes of King's Disease. So that's why I didn't go into Magic 2. I heard Magic 1 and I was like,
no, Magic 1 fire.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of my cousin. I was just talking to my cousin Smooth Haynes. Shout out to you, bro. That he said he loved Magic 1.
That's fire.
But Magic 2, and then Magic 3 is coming out Thursday. So I'm just like, I don't have my hopes up thinking it's going to be King's Disease.
4 albums in 10 years, homie. I can divide. That means 1, 2. 2 of them things was the other was. I will say the other was Magic 1. That's your one hot album every 10 years.
Here we go.
But here's the thing, though. You talked about continuity and locking in with one producer and all that stuff. Out of those people we named that had good runs, Nas benefited the most from being locked in with one producer. He needed that more than everybody we just named.
I agree.
He needed that more than Wayne, Ross, because them niggas know how to pick beats.
Right.
That was Nas's Achilles heel for the most part. So he needed that. When he came out with Kanye, he tried it with Kanye first.
It didn't work, yeah.
It didn't hit the same,
bro. I was so disappointed in that project.
Kanye
and Nas just don't mesh well creatively, in my opinion.
I've never heard a Nas and Kanye song besides maybe the light. Let There Be Light.
No, the dreaming joint. That shit hard.
Yeah, but that's one song though. I'm talking about album.
Well, the album didn't work, and it was rushed, and it was he was recording it on a farm, and Nas looking around like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. But so he tried it then, and I'm glad he didn't give up on it. I'm glad he locked in with someone else who was able to be. They could probably click a little better. Kanye probably on some weird shit at the time.
Yeah.
Hit Boy seemed like a down to earth, solid nigga. So they connect, and that's cool. If he do that joint premiere though, that's going to be a big deal. Yeah, that's gonna be a big deal.
That's gonna solidify everything because I think he knows his formula now, and him and Premier been saying they was gonna do some stuff because the collabs that they've done. Nas is like was it Second Childhood? Wasn't that?
I think
Second Childhood was the Premier track. So they've had a great history of working together. I've never heard a Nas or Premier record that I didn't like. Yeah. So hopefully this will be good. Hit Boy and him gave some life in the game when, you know, in the midst of everybody not really dropping good albums, you know what I'm saying? And I know he's an OG, but he's been rejuvenated, and I've really appreciated it for the culture, man. It's always something to look forward to every year. So I'm sad that it's coming to a close, but, you know, the time has ran its course, and it is what it is. So shout out to Hit Boy because that made him look great as a producer as well.
Even though he was already great.
He was already great, but this right here,
more versatile, bro.
This was history. Yeah. Like this is like historic. Versus,
got a Grammy, got Nas's first Grammy.
First Grammy. That's what I'm saying. They made history together, bro. So, you know, shout out to Hit Boy, shout out to Nas, man. But anyway,